Hello, I'm Aaron from Floor is Lava Events, and I want to give you a few quick bits of advice on how to get the most out of your party or event. So today I want to talk about overtime. This is a bit of a tricky subject, so it's always best to approach before the event. Overtime is what happens if your party's going really well and you want the DJ to stay on a bit longer. Now, what tends to happen is that I will book a time slot with a price before the event, which is always agreed before the event. I never turn up and demand more money because that would be incredibly immoral of me. So I do mention that if the pub allows it, sometimes the pub or space will be open later than the disco is going to. And if everyone's having a great time, you might want it to stay on a bit. So what I always do is whenever I talk to people, I always give them a price and then say that if they want to go over that time, then it is this much per hour. I think that's a great way of doing it because you know what you're getting. I've had situations in the past where this has happened. I did a Halloween gig in 2017, last Halloween, where the party was going so well and the pub was licensed later, so they decided that they wanted to stay on. That was the pub that booked me, so that was slightly different. That was more of a corporate booking than it was, say, a private person's booking. But because we'd pre-arranged how much it would be after, there was no arguments. It was just, can you stay on until this time? It will be this much, won't it? And that was perfect. There was no arguing or haggling. I have been to events in the past where it hasn't been pre-booked. Not so much that I've done it. It's more, friends and events I've been to. And you really want to avoid that argument with the DJ 5 minutes before you're due to close. You really don't want that argument of, can you stay on for another hour, another 2 hours, because people are having a good time, they're spending money at the bar, I want to keep these people and show them a good night. And the DJ turns around and says, yes, that will be £500 extra, please. That's an extreme example. It's never been done like that. I've never seen it like that. But you always run that risk of your DJ, kind of holding you to ransom, because you might have mentioned to a few people that you might be staying open a bit later, so don't worry about drinking up and blah, 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 whatever you want to say to keep your customers or your people at the party. So just make sure that you do, even though you've booked a time slot, make sure that A, the DJ is willing to stay after their time, because not all DJs will. So if you do approach them at the end of the night, they might say, no, I've got to go home, or I've got another booking, which, does happen sometimes. So just make sure that overtime is available if you want it. Obviously, if you're only licensed to a certain time, then obviously worry about that separately. But just make sure that you agree on a price, either per hour or per half an hour, or until a certain point. You might only want to go on for another half an hour to give people time to dance while they're drinking up and things like that. But just always ask the question before the event. Don't leave it until 5 minutes before the DJ's due to finish, because they can ask you for any money they want, and you don't want to lose any of your profits or, by being held to ransom just to keep the music going. So always ask about overtime. Just make sure that you've got that down before you start the event. Okay, I'm Aaron from Floor is Lava Events. You can follow us on Twitter at Floor is Lava UK, or you can follow us on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/Floor is Lava Events. You can send me a message if you've got any questions about events or parties or DJing. You can send me a private message. I can help answer any questions for you, find you a DJ, or hopefully you'll use our service. But until next time, thank you and goodbye.